Hello and welcome back to another Gunpla review. Today we're taking a look at the SDCS Zaku II in green. Now before we get started, I did do some painting and I did actually top coat this kit, and I'm a little bit angry because I noticed right before I started recording, I noticed that the top coat on the chest has rubbed off. I'm not exactly going to do a video on the top coat, but yeah, I want my money back. Anyway, let's not let that influence the review. Let's talk about the kit itself, starting, as always, with the articulation. Now, this is an SD kit, and I don't have the cross silhouette at the moment. So obviously this isn't going to have a ton of articulation, though for the sake of showing it off, I'll just use a toothpick. You can actually move the mono eye, which is nice. And the mono eye, I will point out, is a separate piece with a foil sticker in behind it, and it does look really nice. You can see here where the top coat is rubbed off. I'll have to pop this piece out and paint it again. Or maybe I'll just paint the torso again. Honestly, the arms and legs seem fine, so... Still, seriously, what kind of top coat comes off with your fingers? Anyway, shoulders, sorry, I'm genuinely annoyed by this. I paid $15 for it, but... I mean, the kit too, but you know. The shoulders, focus. The shoulders are on a ball joint inside the torso. The armor on both sides is also on a ball joint, so you get a little bit of wiggle room there. The shoulders are on a ball joint, not super far out to the side, but they do get fairly tight rotation. And the hands are on a ball joint. The waist is on a ball joint, though you're not going to get a lot of movement there. It's mostly meant to be just a swivel. The hips are ball joints, though it's a ball into a socket on the hip, so you don't get a lot of movement there. And the ankles are on a ball joint, but there's not a lot of movement there either. So, I mean, it's an SD, it's not going to be super articulated. Now, moving on to accessories, let's start off with the stickers. This is the foil that goes in behind the eye, and these two are the cameras for the weapons. Now, you'll notice that these are a different color. I painted these, which is why I bought the top coat. Honestly, I'm going to be buying a second one of these because, I mean, come on. So I'm going to leave those ones unpainted because it's only caused me annoyance. Honestly, they're just this slightly darker gray anyway. I mean, it's the same gray that the actual suit uses, so... It's not even that far off. I just wanted them to be a different shade of... Anyway, yeah, let's start off with the bazooka. You have a movable handle here on the side, though don't expect the SD frame to be able to hold it. You do actually get the movable handles here, and you can see it's already scraping up my useless top coat. I shouldn't let my annoyance affect the review, because this is actually a pretty nice kit. But this actually has a peg, which can be stored here. I'm not going to do that because it'll scrape the paint off. I've already tried. You get the Zaku machine gun. Doesn't move. Handle does. Again, don't expect the SD frame to be able to hold that. Speaking of holding, I will point out that the hands do actually hold these quite tight. I had to loosen them up a bit to not scrape the paint off, so they're a little bit wobbly on mine, but on yours they'll be nice and tight. The reason they're wobbly is because if you take a look at the hand from the back, they're hollowed out, and since I had to shave down the actual part that holds onto it, it just kind of wiggles around inside. You also get a heat hook, which is actually color separated. It doesn't look amazing since it's translucent, but you know, works well enough. And you do actually get the leg missile pods, and these are actually specific to each leg. The pegs are slightly off center, so you can only put them on one leg. And personally, I don't care about them, but I suppose it's a nice enough inclusion, so can't really complain. Now let's quickly talk about color correction. Like I said, the weapons should be this shade of gray, but it's not really that big of a difference, so you can get away with not painting them. And like I said, I'm getting a second one of these and I'm not painting the weapons, so assuming you don't mind them being the same gray as that, don't need to bother with the weapons. However, these elbows do need to be painted. They are just the same green plastic as the rest of the arm, so you're going to have to paint these if you want them to be the correct color. And that's it, honestly. All I did was panel line it. Aside from that, it's all color separated. It's really impressive for an SD. Granted, the Zaku doesn't have insane color separation anyway, but the fact that the knees are a separate piece kind of makes me surprised that the elbows weren't. Now, as for a quick size comparison, it's an SD, so what do you expect? It's quite small, but it's also not that expensive, so can't really complain. To wrap this review up, aside from my own mistakes, this is a really nice kit. That's the thing. I really, really like this kit. I like it enough to buy a second one. My problems come from my own mistakes. Buying a bad top coat mostly, but I can 100% recommend this. Honestly, even if you don't paint the elbows, it's like 99% color accurate. I mean, the weapons should be a lighter gray, as I obviously painted them, and that was a mistake, but this is a nice kit, and it's not very expensive, and honestly, if you get the cross silhouette stuff and the booster frame, which eventually I'll get to that review, I can 100% recommend picking this up. It's a really, really nice design. Anyway, that's it for this review. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to let me know what you think down in the comments below. You wouldn't happen to have any horror stories about bad top coat, would you? Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe for future reviews and watch my backlog. And as always, until next time, happy building.